Come do my hair and makeup with me with a little story time, and let me introduce myself because if you're new here, you probably don't know me, so welcome. Let's talk. Welcome to my channel. My name is V, and I am the host of LoveVeeTalks podcast. If you don't know me already, welcome. And I want to do a little story time about why I decided to move to a different state. No money, no plan, and no job. The motivation for my move was a really bad breakup. I was living in the middle of Illinois, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Peoria, but it's a very small town and there really isn't a whole lot there. And so I was honestly really sad, really depressed, and the situation that I was in wasn't the best, so I was ready to get up out of there. So I moved all my things from my apartment. Actually, before I even get to that, so me and my ex-boyfriend, we were actually living together. We ended up breaking up and I got my own apartment in Peoria. Y'all, I was not there very long at all, maybe 2 months. It was just very depressing because number one, the only reason why I was there was because of my ex-boyfriend's job. So just being in the city, everything reminded me of that relationship. Like, I didn't really establish any memories there besides him. So it was just really difficult to process a breakup and be in this city where I don't really know a whole lot of people and then trying to reestablish myself. So I was honestly really depressed. Now, I did meet a lot of great people, but because yet again, I still didn't really feel established, everything was based on him, that I just felt like I really couldn't find my place. So I got a call from my aunt, and she just kept reiterating how great it would be if I moved to Texas and, she would help me. And I was really against it because change is very scary when you're not ready for it. And from my experience, I just wasn't ready. I didn't take her up on that offer until I moved back home from Peoria. I decided to move out of my apartment and I moved back to my hometown, Southern Illinois. And it was just so hard because number one, even though I was working in the mental health field, something that I've kind of always wanted to be in. So I graduated from college and then I realized that that wasn't the career for me. But it was so depressing because at that point it's like, okay, I know that this isn't for me anymore, but what is the next step? And I kind of regret not praying the way that I should have, staying in the word and coming up with a solid plan. So I just felt really jumbled with my thoughts, and I really let my negative thoughts take over for a really long time, and it affected my mental health, my physical health. I was getting sick, and I don't know, you guys, I just feel like I struggled so bad with finding my place. That's the best way I can describe it. I think the reason why I felt so low is because number one, I went from feeling like I was establishing myself in adulthood by getting a big girl job and then also having my own place with the person that I thought I would spend the rest of my life with. And so the relationship ended. I didn't have a job. I had no income. It was highly depressing. And then on top of that, I'm moving back home with my mom. Nobody wants to have to do that, especially when you've kind of established yourself a little bit on your own. So I think that that's why I kind of took it as hard as I did. But anyway, so I just was tired of running in circles, trying to figure out how I'm going to get a decent job, applying for jobs, not really finding anything suitable for me, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with myself. And so in December of 2019 is when I said, okay, you need to make a change. You need to start your life over. And that's exactly what I did. I was scared out of my mind. Even though I made that decision, and now looking back, that was absolutely the best decision I've ever made. Change is so scary when you don't feel like you're ready because you have no idea what's coming ahead. So I decided to start praying more around this time, actually, which is what led me up to the decision to finally go ahead and move. And something kept telling me, just do it. I didn't have any money, didn't have a plan, but something was really burning inside of me, telling me to go ahead and do it. So I packed up my little Nissan Altima. My aunt and my uncle, they followed me, and they followed me all the way to Texas, that 9-hour drive. When I got there, immediately I felt like, okay, I am exactly where I need to be. So I looked for a job for a few months, and I finally found a little job. It was decent for the time being, especially because I wasn't bringing in any income. So you got to start somewhere, right? But then also too, I started to establish a level of confidence that I feel like I didn't have, or I probably wouldn't have had if I didn't take that leap of faith. Sometimes you have to test your own strength to realize how powerful and how fearless you can be. But not even just fearless, because I honestly was afraid at the time. Being courageous despite being fearful. Like, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving in spite of the fear. And so I learned about myself. I learned a lot about myself with just making that first move. They always say the first step is the hardest, and in my case, it absolutely was. From there, it was only up. So I got my first job. It wasn't the best job. The pay wasn't the greatest. It was very far from where I lived. But you know what? Hey, it paid the bills. And then I ended up getting another job, maybe like 8-9 months later. The pay was a little bit better. And so I felt like life was gradually but steady getting better as time went on. And the change started happening very, very quickly. Like, even within that first 2 weeks of me moving to Texas, I met a group of amazing women that I still talk to most of them to this day. And I just feel so grateful for the opportunity to start over, because some people don't get that opportunity. So I try my best to practice being grateful and thankful for every opportunity that comes my way. I never want to take any of that for granted. So after being in Texas for a few months, in March of 2020 is when I started my podcast. And I really didn't know what direction I wanted my podcast to go in. I just wanted to start it. So people always tell me that they love my voice. They love, the tone in my voice, and the way that I speak is so relaxing and so calming. So I said, why not? Why not record my affirmations and just wing it and see if other people enjoy them? And the responses that I received was so overwhelming. I am so thankful that I could help other people. So I will get the same comments that other people would tell me in real life, like, oh, your voice is so soothing. Thank you for this meditation. I really needed it. But really, I felt like I was really doing it for myself, because even though life was starting to get better for me, I still feel like I was kind of in a dark place. So I still didn't have a full plan. It's like you're living life day by day, but you don't know what the next steps are. And so it was still kind of depressing. And then not only that, and before I say this, we listen and we don't judge. So the ex that I left behind in Illinois, we ended up getting back together. I know. Don't judge me. Did all that work just to get back with this person. But we did not move in together anymore. Like, we stayed separated. We stayed in two separate states, but we tried to make it work, flying back and forth to see each other, always talking on the phone, FaceTiming, talking every day, sending each other things, and that relationship just really drained me, because this person wanted something out of me that I could not provide for them, that I think that therapy was the only thing that could provide them with. And so eventually we just completely cut ties. And then from there, it's like all the blessings that I've been so scared of receiving, I was receiving. And not only that, but it was like I felt prepared for them. Like, we say that we want certain things out of life, but do we really ask, or do we pray that we're actually prepared when they do come into our life? And so I was very thankful and grateful that my life was coming to, everything that I dreamed of started to come into fruition. My podcast was doing well. I wrote my first ebook. Life was great. Yes, I had my challenges, but moving was honestly the best thing that could have happened to me. It has been up ever since then. So ever since that move over 5 years ago, I have been blessed in so many ways that I would have never imagined. And I definitely want to expand on that in a different video. But y'all, take that leap of faith. I'm telling you right now, even if you don't know what direction that you're supposed to go in, if your heart's desires are telling you to take that leap, take that leap. I started to invest in my mental health, so going to therapy. I started taking care of my physical health, so working out, learning how to eat better, and just living a healthier lifestyle, not drinking as much, and just having better friends, like just really surrounding myself with good people. And I have been flourishing ever since. And I am just so thankful for every single opportunity. But I'm telling you, seriously, take that leap of faith. It is not your business knowing what's to come. Like, if your heart is telling you to take that leap, just do it, baby. You don't have to know every single detail. Stay faithful to your plan. That's all you got to do. And please believe me, I wholeheartedly understand that it's easier said than done, but it is harder to live a life that you don't want to live versus taking that leap of faith, being fully committed to making a change in your life and actually not living in fear. And not only that, but I don't know about you, but I definitely do not want to live a life of what ifs. That is not how I would like to live. And I know you don't either, friend. You might not know it. We probably never talked before, but that's okay. I'm talking to you. I'm letting you know that you stepping out on faith is going to teach you so many things about yourself, your strength level, what you're capable of, because sometimes it takes us to see for our own eyes. People can tell us all day long how beautiful you are, how amazing you are, how smart you are. But when you actually step out on faith and when you actually do something out of your norm that's there to like better your life, you will transform and blossom into a person that you never knew that you could be. It is such a beautiful experience, and I don't regret any decision that I have ever made. Not only that, but I am not ashamed of my past. I feel like it is my testimony, and I am just so thankful to be able to share it. Y'all, I host events. I make more money than what I've ever expected. I live a healthier life. I feel amazing. I feel blessed. My mindset is totally different, and I am seeing the fruits of my labor from investing in who I want to become. But thank y'all so much. I love you. Tell me what y'all think about the hair and the makeup, because I'm really loving it. Like, your girl is giving, the hair is giving body, makeup is clean and pretty and girly. And I want some honest opinions on the look today because I'm learning how to do my makeup. I actually took a makeup class, but I'm always open to improve. I love y'all. Bye.